dollar. Dirt and money, no soul. Had to go and get it, ain't no time to kick it. Got a stack of flip for my foes. Dollar. Please tell me you can hear me. Don't turn your back and don't neglect me. Just let me know if you need me. Dollar. Let me watch out for my partners. Keep my money long, get my team strong. Let me run away from my problems.
Yup, what's good, original crew? It's your boy DJ New Kid, your girl.
Sierra Nicole.
Back on the channel. We got the most brutal life sentences of 2022. That is.
What?
You good? You real deep. Okay. I'm just trying to make sure you straight.
I'm good.
With that being said, man, let's get into it. Make sure you check out the links in the description box.
Down below.
You already know where to go, man. If you want the first part, you have to do it. Check out down below. Also, if you enjoyed today's video,
like it with a thumbs up.
We highly appreciate it, man. But with that being said, let's get into it. Let's check it out. Let's see what this is about. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right.
Sure. It's probably not a bad idea.
Are we on mute anyway, so I can say whatever the I want?
We're not on mute.
Oh, okay.
Kimberly Kessler, a woman of many identities, was charged with first-degree murder. In May 2018, it was announced that Jolene Cummings, a mother of 3, had gone missing, but her corpse had never been located. However, in December, a jury decided that Kessler was responsible for her death and deemed her guilty. But there were some discrepancies here.
I want to get rid of the public defender's office. Yeah, exactly. Jordan Beard is Johnson's nephew. Jordan Beard is Jolie's cousin.
However, Judge James Daniel wasn't having any of it and said that the punishment will be carried out regardless of whether or not it was necessary. The court first ruled that Kessler lacked the mental capacity to stand trial, but then clarified that she was able to comprehend the allegations that were being made against her. Kessler refused to take part in the trial and caused multiple scenes in the courtroom.
Everybody, your name here much longer.
No, we may want to put her on mute while we finish this good.
It's fine.
Let's just put me back on myself.
Sam, come back.
Jordan Beard is Jolie Cummings' cousin.
Kimberly Kessler was found guilty of murdering Jolene Cummings and will spend the rest of her life behind bars for this crime without the possibility of parole.
So I've been assured she'll be on the first bus tomorrow out of town. And when she leaves, we're going to have cake and ice cream.
You will conclude.
Not cake and ice cream, see.
What day?
Not the cake and ice cream.
Cake and the ice cream, child.
Bruh. And honestly, I really think a lot of people be trying to fake insanity.
So that they, yeah.
Because they like, I'd rather be in a mental asylum than in prison. Because I can't. But you murder somebody. I don't give a fuck. I ain't finna. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's really be wrong with folks, though?
That's a good question.
Because she knew everything she was doing.
Yeah, she did.
She was trying to play crazy.
It almost.
Yo, because like that Mr. Ballin dude, the one we reacted to, the frat boy that ate up the was eating at the folks. He basically he went to trial. He was ruled. People say ruled guilty, but technically ruled innocent due to insanity. Basically, he's going through psych treatment. He's going to, and then once he's deemed to be corrected, he's going back into society, which could be 2, 3, 4, 5, could be 10, could be 20, could be 50 years. But whenever they deem him as being sane enough to return back into society, he will be back into society, which is crazy because he killed multiple people and was eating on them.
Yeah, it's crazy.
There's no way all that stuff could happen to a person who is innocent and falsely accused. The only reasonable explanation is the defendant is guilty.
Martise Fuller was arrested for a list of charges: first-degree intentional homicide, attempted first-degree intentional homicide, and burglary with a dangerous weapon. Fuller was responsible for the shooting that resulted in the death of his 15-year-old ex-girlfriend Kaylee Juga and the critical injury of her mother, Stephanie Juga.
Martise Fuller broke down after a jury found him guilty of killing Kaylee Juga and attempting to kill her mother, Stephanie, in May 2019.
According to the prosecution, Fuller placed the responsibility for his dismissal from school and banishment from the football team on Kaylee and Kaylee's mother.
Police only found the gun because Dontrell Seymour led them to it. In a sewer in Racine County.
The prosecution referred to Fuller's intimate knowledge of the Juga house and Kaylee's daily routine. In their house, Kaylee was killed instantly after receiving 5 gunshot wounds.
She was such a kind-hearted person. She could light up a room and could always bring a smile to anyone's face. Martise Fuller ruined it all.
Also, her mother Stephanie positively identified Fuller as the one who she confronted on the second floor of her house and who afterwards shot her as she attempted to hide. Stephanie discovered Kaylee later, lifeless and lying on the floor of her bedroom. For the murder of Juga, the judge handed down a sentence of life in prison. Additionally, Fuller was charged with an extra count of battery by convicts for his participation in a criminal act in prison.
We do not stand before this court with a damaged...
Damn, they already getting to him in prison. They already getting to him. Damn, he weak. He done for in prison, man.
That's crazy.
Hey, I wonder what was the motive behind it, though. You know what I'm saying? Behind that one. Because him being 18, she being 15, technically the parents could cause for statutory, right?
Was he 18?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know.
Or just when he went to trial?
I don't know. So, also, whatever happened between the two seems like it led him to be suspended from school and kicked off the football team. So he possibly went down a downward spiral. But what happened for all that to occur to make him, you know what I'm saying, lash out? I'm just saying, like, I want to know, like, a little bit more information about the background of it, because obviously the mom had some kind of influence with their relationship and didn't want them to see each other or something too. Because
if you,
why would you kill her?
Well, if that was the case, definitely if you older, hell yeah, I don't want you to see my child. If you were 18 at the time.
So 9 times out of 10, he could have been a senior in school. She could have been a sophomore.
Possibly, but if that wasn't the case,
you weren't talking to no seniors when you was a sophomore in school. Yeah, but y'all the girls knows. I done seen sophomore be talking to niggas outside of school. They be grown and graduated.
Nah, I ain't talking about grown and graduated.
I'm talking about like they probably a year or 2 out of school and they be like, yeah, that my boyfriend. You coming in the cutlass, picking you up.
Not the cutlass.
Not the cutlass. Cause now he at the factory. You know what I'm saying? He played football in high school, but now he at the local factory. He can come pick you up in the cutlass.
I mean, but yeah, that ain't got nothing to do. This is such a point. But then again, like I said, we don't know really what age he was then, or if he's just 18 now.
But the only thing I'm saying that I wonder what led up to the first incident of him with because some altercation happened between the two.
I'm talking about for him to get kicked off
and suspended from school because then that possibly made him blow up and won't, because now he blamed his downfall on her and all that, which is just no excuse to take someone's life.
That ain't no excuse. But yeah, I get what you're saying now.
You don't have a history of mental illness. I don't have any...
Sorry.
In a criminal act in prison.
We do not stand before this court with a damaged childhood. You don't have a history of mental illness. I don't have any ability to trust that you will never commit these acts. You are a very dangerous and a damaged human being.
I cried openly when I read Nick Juga's letter. I did that because this is a man who has spent his entire professional life protecting this country and protecting all of us as individuals.
All right, I need to take a break. This man right now is having a stare down with me. It's very disrespectful. He pounded his fist. Frankly, it makes me scared.
The Daryl Brooks case was an interesting one because the crime was horrific, but it wasn't all that shook the surrounding witnesses.
Repeated interruptions and disruptions.
There were 6 fatalities and many injuries from this tragedy, but his actions inside and outside of the courtroom are just as horrific. The prosecution showed proof that Brooks intentionally drove into the crowd. In a criminal complaint, an officer is reported as claiming that when he stepped in front of Brooks's vehicle and told him to stop, Brooks just gazed straight at him and seemed to have no emotion on his face.
Do you know why the vehicle was beeping its horn?
I imagine that the driver was angry and wanted to get through the crowd.
On his social media accounts before the violence, Brooks had advocated for the use of force against police officers and against Caucasian individuals. According to reports, Brooks allegedly referred to himself as a terrorist and a killer in the city.
Well, I got one ear that work, and I heard that.
This is to benefit you so that you understand
Ain't none of
your
this to benefit me,
witness
so let's
has
be
a
clear about
prior
that.
record.
After 2 days of testimony from victims and family members, Judge Jennifer Doreau imposed a mandatory sentence on Daryl Brooks. He was given a life sentence without the possibility of parole.
Frankly, Mr. Brooks, no one is safe from you. This community can only be safe if you are behind bars for the rest of your life.
Cloud texts MacGyver.
I never knew that he actually had killed somebody. Like I know the crime he had did, but I don't know why I didn't know that people died from the situation.
How many people did it?
It said 6.
Oh, 6 people.
Yeah, I didn't know anybody. I knew of the crime, and I knew like he drove through. I thought people were just hurt.
Yeah.
But it was still a vicious crime. I didn't know anybody died from the situation. And 9 times out of 10, he probably is a fully drugged, but because somebody right up there in the head.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I didn't know that no one had. Because we've seen it many times.
Yeah.
But I just feel like I've seen like clips and I like knew that he drove through a crowd and I like knew all of that. But I didn't know like, or maybe I did and
I swear he probably was in a drug-induced state. Like whatever his drug of choice that day. But to be honest, it was still premeditated because you made all these posts and stuff about being, you know what I'm saying, how your mindset is. So it's still, but the drugs probably push you to do it though. I don't know.
At age 79, is being charged with felony murder in connection with the death of Diane MacGyver and faces a sentence of life in prison.
The court saying that the jurors should have been able to consider a lesser charge and that they heard evidence that they shouldn't have. There was never any dispute that MacGyver shot his wife. The question at trial was whether he meant to.
On the evening of September 25, 2016, a close friend of Diane MacGyver was driving the couple's Ford Expedition. The three of them were returning home from the MacGyver's horse property. On their trip, Carter takes an exit in the middle of downtown Atlanta to avoid traffic on the freeway. And a short time later, MacGyver fired the pistol, hitting his wife in the back of the head.
But if I might just state it very directly, because I know she's here, I feel her presence as I'm speaking to you. Darling, you have brought me more joy and fulfillment than few men on this earth have ever known. Thank you, and until we are together again.
In June 2022, the Georgia Supreme Court overturned the conviction for murder, stating that the jury should have been given the opportunity to charge him with the lesser crime of misdemeanor involuntary manslaughter. The Supreme Court did not overturn his conviction for influencing a witness, even if it did overturn several of his previous convictions. Cloud Tex MacGyver was found guilty in 2018 for felony murder in connection with the death of his wife, Diane MacGyver. He did indeed end up facing that sentence of life in prison.
I didn't have her here.
I'm about to say, like, how he finna really get off on that one? Because it looks as though he was in the back seat. The friend was driving, wife in the front seat. He was in the back seat. All of a sudden, she gets shot in the back of the head.
Did the friend?
I need more information about that because the information he gave was very vague.
Yeah, just
So, very like summarized it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
Stay on it for...
But it didn't give me enough details that I would want to hear. Like what evidence did they hear that they shouldn't have heard? Because my thing is, I need to hear all evidence.
Yeah.
I don't need to hear what you want me to hear. I need to hear everything that could possibly rule him either guilty or innocent.
Yeah.
But you just don't kill somebody. Well, I guess they need to it could have been criminal negligence because if it was gonna be an accident, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But what evidence you prove that it's an accident? If y'all been driving on the freeway all this time and y'all went this route, why are you playing with a gun
in the backseat?
Backseat of the car.
Anyway, to start with.
So
yeah. So I don't know. Yeah.
You're sorry for what you did. To me, that silence speaks volumes.
The verdict reads, we, the jury, find the defendant, Kevin Dean Eastman, guilty of murder in the first degree after deliberation.
A man from Greeley who was charged with murdering 2 individuals in 2020, one of whom was a well-known trumpet player in the Greeley area. He was a mainstay in the Denver band, the Movers and Shakers. According to the Larimer County Sheriff's Office, the body of Stanley Scott Sessions was discovered on February 10th, 2020 in Bellevue.
Scotty and the brass section brought a smile to the faces of band members and countless audiences. He brought a whole new dimension to our stage and our performances. He would take an ordinary song and light it up. It became extraordinary when Scotty played it. There was a profound empty spot on the stage of our performance on February 10th, 2020. And that spot will forever remain empty on our stage.
6 days after Sessions' death, Eastman was taken into custody in connection with the incident, and a search warrant was carried out at a residence as part of the inquiry. Shockingly, the corpse of Heather Franks was discovered by deputies as they were searching the residence. After a trial lasting almost 3 weeks, Kevin Eastman was found guilty.
We, the jury, find the defendant, Kevin Dean Eastman, guilty of tampering with physical evidence.
It was determined that he was responsible for 2 counts of first-degree murder, 2 counts of tampering with a human corpse, and 2 counts of tampering with physical evidence.
The court is going to sentence you to a life sentence in the Colorado Department of Corrections without the possibility of parole.
Judge Marcelo Kopkow of the World District Court handed Eastman 2 consecutive life terms, as well as an extra 27 years in custody of the Colorado Department of Corrections. He won't be getting out anytime soon.
Hey, you know what's so crazy though? It's a joke, but you know what I'm saying, lighten the mood up a little bit. Somebody said if I ever got 2 life sentences, right? And say for instance you have a heart attack, you are pronounced dead once, then you come back alive, right? Now I did 1 life sentence, then the heart stops again, I come back. Hey, I did 2 life sentences, I died, came back twice. What's up, cuz? Y'all gotta let me go. I did 2 lives. You get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying.
Hey, if I'm pronounced dead, then I come back, y'all. Oh, you died. Yeah, I died on that table. Tell them I died. I'm back. I did my life sentence.
I love it. You better go back to your cell, honey. The clock start over.
Nah.
Yeah, you
nah,
getting
man,
out.
you gotta let me get out. I did my sentence.
No.
You said life, they said I died. I'm bad, bitch. But nah, in all seriousness though, I want to know like the motive behind any of these cases though. Like, especially even the last one, I don't think we ain't really getting.
Oh yeah, we didn't really get like
we ain't getting much off of that one.
That was just like to know like
what was the reason? Because don't you like to get a good conviction on somebody, you have to come up with a motive. I mean,
like, I'm pretty sure they, of course, had one. We just don't know what it was because it didn't state it, but I would like to know.
So the infamous joint we followed this year was the Alice Murdaugh case. My thing is, we still never got a clear motive of why he would have killed his son and his wife. Only thing we got was a lot of speculations, and nothing was like a serious motive. It was like, all right, he killed them because of money. Well, he killed them because of this. Well, he killed him because, what's his name? What was the son's name? Paul. He killed him because Paul was bringing a lot of heat to him. Well, he killed, but we never had a serious motive, a reason why he would have killed his wife and his son.
They didn't have like a set.
Yeah.
Like, it was like, this, that, like, yeah.
And I ain't gonna
was
hold
more
you.
focused, like, on the financial thing, and I was like...
But they still didn't give me the understanding of why he would kill both of them.
Yeah.
Like, was he trying to kill him for the insurance? Y'all never went there.
I think that's what the direction they was trying to go, though.
But I ain't never heard that.
I
never heard that.
I know, but we just heard financial. They was just financial. Money.
Well, sell the property. You could have just sold the property for the money.
Yeah, but
and that's the reason why I said even in that case, I really was like, I don't know if he's gonna get convicted because there wasn't any, like I will say this. I do believe through the documentaries, because there was so many documentaries out about that case, that swayed people's opinion about the case. I don't believe any documentaries should have came out before the case was done. You know what I'm saying? Because now we're swayed by opinions of what.
I was trying to think then when we were watching it, and then the trial has. Yeah. I was like, has that ever happened? Like
I don't know. I can't remember.
Most people was introduced to him through the documentary, and then now
you had the HBO documentary, you had the Netflix one, and it's like now people are swayed by how y'all portrayed him on the. How the director wanted it to look.
Yeah, so of course people was gonna be like,
"Oh yeah, he guilty, man. I think he guilty for." But none of that. Like, if we never had that before the case was over, I don't think.
But kind of people probably still would have, just with the fact that.
No, I'm saying before, like because a lot of people didn't know any of that information that they were saying before the documentaries came out. Nobody knew like the facts and stuff. What I'm saying.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
So I don't believe people would have thought in their head that. We'll talk about it more afterwards.
No, I'm just saying. With them because you brought it up.
No, I'm saying I don't think a lot of people would have 100% believed that he was guilty, because a lot of time, even the actions of how the murders happened just didn't add up a lot in a lot of people's heads.
In situations like that, it's just y'all there, right? And they're able to like either ping phones or ping locations or just the recording, that little snippet of the recording. People would have been like, oh yeah, because people just so like they would be like, yeah. So I feel like people still kind of would have.
But based off a lot of stuff, there was still room for opportunity for other stuff. So I was just like, I don't have an innocent or a guilty verdict on that. He was found guilty, so we're just gonna roll with that. I don't know if he should have been found innocent or guilty on that.
Because you didn't know or had a lot to go.
Yeah, I didn't have a lot to go off of. But I'll say this.
Or didn't understand
his emotions and seeing the visual after the fact show a lot of guilt. Yeah. He really showed no emotion, and his actions was so sus. He had too many sus. That's why I was like, I don't know if he had killed them but I do believe he had a role. Even if he didn't pull the trigger, I do believe he had a role in the deaths. Some type of involvement. Yeah, some type of involvement. But hey man, y'all spam us up. Y'all let us know y'all thoughts and opinions. Did you think he was guilty? Be honest.
I don't know. I didn't have it was for me, I was just like, something ain't right up there. You know what I'm saying? Because just with did we see that recording on? And that's the thing. I keep getting stuff mixed up. I don't know if
we saw a lot though. We saw a lot.
I'm talking about when he was after like the detectives, the police, everybody had got there. And he was sitting in the truck in the front. Was that on the documentary or was that actually footage?
I can't remember. I can't remember. We watched a lot of stuff outside of it.
But that clip alone.
That's what I was referencing. His emotions.
Yeah, I was like, that was weird to me, and I was like, what?
And then how the clothing was. If you really checked it, if you checked them, you would have blood on you. Even if you checked the body for vital signs with how brutal the crimes were, you still would have blood on you. He made sure he didn't have any speck of blood.
And like with the home health nurse, which you wanted her to lie for you, and then with the housekeeper situation, and you wanted her to you trying to basically coach her and tell her clean. It was just too much, and I was just like, that's speaking a lot of.
But like I said,
you ain't doing that for no reason.
But like I said, I don't know if he did it
But that was always our thing. It was like, we wasn't there. We don't know.
I can't say he the one pulled
he guilty,
both
regardless.
triggers. But he had. I do believe he had some type of involvement at the end of the day.
And they found him guilty. Regardless, so, hey.
Hey, man, make sure y'all spam us up in the comments. Y'all let us know y'all thoughts and opinions.
Please do.
About it in the comment section down below. Even the Ellen Murdoch case, if y'all want to chime in on that one, y'all can as well. But, as always, I do go by the name DJ Kid. This is
See you at the coast.
We are
Go and get it, ain't no time to kick it. Got a stack and flip for my folks. Dollar. Please tell me you can hear me. Don't turn your back